Everyone, it's your girl Tina Olise. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about scalp care, how to take care of your scalp, how to understand your scalp and work well with your scalp, because most people talk about products and all sorts of things about natural hair in the natural hair community, but people hardly talk about taking care of your scalp. And this is a very crucial aspect of your natural hair journey, because your hair is growing out from your scalp. So if it's not well taken care of, there's definitely going to be a problem. On today's video, I'm going to be talking about sebum production, oily scalp, dry scalp, how to understand your scalp, and how to take care of your scalp properly for better hair growth. So if you are new to my channel, do click on that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications to get notified anytime I upload a new video. If you've been here before, welcome back. Before I talk about anything about your scalp, definitely the main thing I have to talk about, if I do not talk about it and I haven't started talking about scalp care, is sebum. What is sebum? A lot of people have heard this before and probably don't know what it is, so I'll be explaining this basically. Sebum is a natural oil our sebaceous glands, our skin produces. Also help protect it, add shine to our skin, lubricate our skin. That's like one of its main jobs, to lubricate our skin and make sure our skin doesn't dry out. So that is the actual work of sebum, and this sebum is produced by our sebaceous gland. And when I'm talking about skin, our scalp is a skin. Overproduction or underproduction of this sebum may cause a lot of scalp issues like oily scalp, dry scalp, dandruff, itchiness, seborrheic dermatitis, psoriasis, and a whole lot of scalp disorder. So basically, you need your scalp to produce sebum in adequate amount. You don't need it to be over or under. Now you know what your sebum is and what it actually does. Let's get right into how it affects our hair journey. Most people think why they have dry hair is because they have dry scalp, which is a very big misconception. Naturally, our scalp produces sebum that helps to lubricate our scalp down through our hair. But if you have kinky kind of hair texture, it's going to be very hard for that sebum to travel down from your scalp to your hair because of the coily texture. It's just like putting an oil in a ring coil and putting an oil in a straight path. The oil will just go down the straight path, but find it difficult to move around the bends and the loops and the coil. That's what happened to our kinky coily hair. So if you have kinky coily hair and you're experiencing dry hair, it is not because your scalp isn't producing enough sebum. First of all, to know the amount of sebum production in your scalp, to categorize yourself, if your scalp is oily or dry or just normal, you have to do a few tests to actually determine which one you. First step is washing your hair thoroughly and nicely with a sulfate-free shampoo. After that, do not apply any other thing to your hair. Don't use oils or butters or even deep conditioning. Do not do anything to your hair. Just leave your hair like that. If at all you feel your hair is going to dry out during the process of this test, just moisturize only the ends and halfway through your hair. Make sure nothing touches your scalp at all, and put your hair in a straight form, like banding method or in a flexi rod or something, to keep your hair away from your scalp. Wait 3 to 4 days to a week and monitor what happens on your scalp. If by the 3rd day or the 4th day or even a week you can actually feel your scalp very oily and greasy, then you are on the scale of having oily or greasy scalp. If after the 1st week you start to feel your scalp a little bit oily and lubricated, then you're on normal scale. If by the 1st to 2nd week that's what you feel. But if till the 3rd week you do not feel anything at all, like after the 1st week, after the 2nd week, going into the 3rd week, you don't still feel oil on your scalp and it's very light, if at all you do, like very light, or you start seeing your hair is even drying out, like it's flaking, then you're on the dry scalp categories. In the first test, you can also choose to use your fingers lightly to see if you see any particles or oil or anything on your scalp. That's how to monitor your scalp, to actually know what your scalp is like without you actually bombarding it with a lot of products. Give your scalp a little break from all these products, junks and oils and everything, and monitor if your scalp is self-sufficient to care for itself, and just let it do its work. So the second test is basically using a blot paper. Yes, if you have a blot paper, after washing your hair and making sure it's clean, do not apply anything similar to the first test. Watch your hair for a week or two. Use a blot paper to dab on your scalp directly and see what it actually looks like. If it looks very, very oily and like soaks a lot of oil, then you know that yes, that your scalp is oily, you're on the oily category. But if it doesn't soak any oil the first week, then leave it. Do it the next week and keep on seeing how translucent the blood paper becomes, how much oil is in the blood paper. It will give you an idea of how much sebum your scalp produces. So that is how to test for how much sebum your scalp produces. Okay, so after doing this test, it will give you an idea if you have, oily scalp, dry scalp, or normal scalp. Even without this test about bloating and washing your hair, monitoring it, you can also tell if you're going to have oily scalp or dry scalp by just looking at your skin. Look at places that are, very, very crucial, like your face, your arm, and your chest and your back. These are places to look at when trying to see if you have oily or dry skin. If you notice that you wash your face and after like an hour or two, your face is all shiny and oiled up and all that, then you have oily skin, and there's a high probability that you're going to have oily scalp too. But if you're a type of person that wash your face and after an hour or two it starts to get dry and you need oils, creams, toners, and a lot of things to keep it hydrated and moisturized, then your skin is dry, and there's a probability that your scalp could also be the same thing. It's not an assurance that that's exactly what's going to happen, but it's just to give you an idea of what your scalp might be. Now that you've done those tests to know your category, now you can try to regulate your sebum production. I want you also to get to that point where you know, okay, this is what's wrong and what your hair needs and this is what it doesn't need. So yes, you have to understand your scalp to understand your hair. Products are not the answer and solution to everything. You have to do your own part. So now I'm going to be talking about how to try and regulate your sebum if your scalp is oily. So if you've done this test and you notice that your scalp is always oily and greasy, that is as a result of an overdrive in the production of sebum by your sebaceous gland. This occurs as a result of a lot of things by both what you do, what you eat, and everything that happens to your body. What causes an overdrive in sebum production that causes oily scalp? One is overwashing your hair. A lot of people wash their hair every 2-3 days or twice a week. That is washing your hair too much. Some people go to use sulfate shampoos, which are even much more stripping to your hair. So washing your hair too much isn't the best solution. This is going to even make your matter worse. When you wash your hair continuously like that, your sebaceous gland is going to be triggered, and that is what causes the overdrive in oil production, because it is trying to not get dried out. You are washing it, drying it out, and it's trying to produce more oil to make sure that your scalp is lubricated. So you removing the oil isn't the solution. Another reason why you might have oily scalp, an imbalance in your sebum production, is your poor diet and stress. And this poor diet affects a whole lot of things in your body. The way your body works, your hormones, and a lot of things just goes overboard. The third reason why you have oily scalp is because of the weather you stay in. If you live in a very, very, very hot weather, you tend to go out to do activities under the sun. It's drying it out. It's putting a lot of heat, drying it out, and this makes your sebaceous gland go overdrive. Hormonal fluctuations when you are pregnant, a lot of hormones spike up, go down, can change the way your sebum is produced. Yes, it sounds weird, but yes, it contributes to all this because the sebaceous gland is also controlled by hormones. When you have fluctuation in your hormones during pregnancy, or even your monthly hormonal swings, tends to affect medications. Last one I'm going to mention is your genes. Yes, it is hereditary. Your oily scalp condition might just be hereditary, but that doesn't mean you can't try to regulate it. It might not be permanent, but at least you're putting it under control. So now you know the reasons why your sebum production is not regulated and you have oily scalp. So now I'm going to be telling you how to regulate that sebum in your scalp. So the first one is going to tackle the first cause, which is overwashing your hair. Try and wash it when you actually see your hair needs to be washed. So except for washing your hair, the main thing you should be looking at is what you use to wash your hair. A lot of people are not really educated on the ingredients a lot of brands use. You see a lot of parabens, a lot of alcohols, drying alcohols. You see a lot of sulfates. You see a lot of things that would actually dry your hair out and rip your hair off its natural oils. Whenever you apply that kind of product on your hair, it tends to make your sebum production fluctuate. And so when you're getting products, do look at the ingredients and make sure you know what you stay away from sugar, stay away from junks. Yes, eat healthy. Sugar depreciates your skin, it makes you age faster, it disrupts your hormones. Make sure you know what you're eating, make sure it's organic, stay away from junks and a lot of laboratory foods. Stop adding products to your scalp. Your scalp is self-sufficient. If you can regulate your scalp, it can lubricate itself, it can produce what it needs for for itself. Keep your products away from your scalp. Your scalp has bacteria, and these bacteria are healthy bacteria that actually keep your scalp in good condition. But once you use a product and you apply it to your scalp, the pH of the product can actually throw your scalp's pH off balance, and this causes a whole lot of pathogenic bacteria breeding on your scalp and a whole lot of imbalances that you do not want. If at all you want to apply anything to your scalp, let it just be your oils, penetrating light oils, okay? Don't use your products, don't use heavy body. Do clay rinses. Clay rinses are very good. Have this antimicrobial, properties. They have this cleansing properties that do not strip your hair off, and it's very good. I have a video on clay, on how I use kaolin clay. I'll put a link down in the description, so go check it out and explore how lovely clay can be to your hair. Herbal rinses. Herbs in general are very good for your body and for your scalp. There are a few herbal rinses like the stinging nettle leaves, palmettos, horsetail, and a whole lot of them that are very good to help regulate your sebum production in your scalp and try and put it in that balance. Do ACV rinses. It is very good with unclogging your follicles and removing that debris and also killing bacteria. If you have oily scalp, you are going to be a little bit focused on unclogging your follicles, and it doesn't strip your hair off its natural oil. Tea tree oil in your shampoo. Add a few drops of tea tree oil, like 4 to 5 drops of tea tree oil in your shampoo. Make sure it's a sulfate-free shampoo and use it to wash your hair. Tea tree is very good. It has antimicrobial properties and a whole lot of scalp benefits. It's something you have to do consistently and make it a part of your regimen and a part of your wrap for this video. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about dry scalp, dandruff, and a few scalp conditions and issues that people generally have. So turn on your post notification if you want to be part of these educations. I still remain your girl Tina Olisi, and your #1 natural educator. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.